Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the Women Lighthouse podcast. This is a community for purpose-driven women who desire to live their dreams and aspirations. Our mission is to inspire you to live your dreams one day at a time while serving as a beacon of hope and guidance. We will be addressing various issues related to womanhood. Join me as we explore our journey of life together. I am your host, Women Hamilton. Hello, ladies. You're welcome to another episode of the Women Lighthouse podcast. It's great to have you on the show today. Today, we're discussing about how to empower stay-at-home moms that are thriving in the absence of their spouse. As a stay-at-home mom, it can be very challenging when your spouse is away for extended periods of time. However, it's important to note that you are capable of thriving in the absence of your spouse. On today's episode, we'll be discussing the challenges and triumph of stay-at-home moms who are managing their household and parenting responsibilities in the absence of their spouse. So our guest today will be sharing how to balance household responsibilities and how to maintain emotional well-being. She would also highlight the importance of having a support system and community engagement and how they can role model resilience and strengthen their children irrespective of their spouse being absent. So join us as we dive deep into our world of empowering stay-at-home moms. Our guest today is Mrs. Jochebed Mayo Adagazu, and she's called Jackie for short. She's a wife and a mother, and she's also an entrepreneur, a fashion designer to be precise. You're welcome, Jackie, to the Women Lighthouse podcast. It's so great to have you here.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Okay. Can you share with us why you chose to be a stay-at-home mom?
Okay. Well, for me, it's not like I chose it like it was a decision I just made, like I want to be a stay-at-home mom. It was more like time and chance.
Okay.
So, yes, I was really into tailoring before marriage and, and all that. So, during the lockdown, everything slowed down and all. Then I think I took in around that period. And I was just, pregnancy and its issues and all. So after I gave birth, it was like, the time to now go back to the tailoring was not very convenient for me. And then that was just about the time my husband started traveling a lot. So it was like, okay, you just have to stay at home and watch the boy and all that. So that was how my own stay-at-home started. Stay-at-home mom started, yes. So it was just time and chance. And then I didn't have issues with it. Like, wow, since I can also do my tailoring at home, why not? Let me give it a try. So that was how my journey began.
So do you enjoy being a stay-at-home mom?
Well, mostly I enjoy it. Sometimes, sometimes when you look, you're like, okay, you ask yourself, am I not wasting in quotes, my all my education and all? Sometimes you look around and you see your contemporaries, and then you are tempted to feel like, am I not wasting myself? Am I not? There's this feeling of, are you sure this is what you really want? Then sometimes you are like, okay, 20 years from now, I'll just say I was a stay-at-home mom. That's why I'm at this level, Yeah, it gets to me sometimes that I'm at home.
Okay.
But other times it's like, oh, thank God I'm a stay-at-home mom. So
Okay.
it's kind of, yes, it's a mixed feeling actually. Sometimes I'm happy. I'm like, okay, I'm a stay-at-home mom. It's perfect, especially for mornings that you just don't feel like it. You want to sleep. You are just having a rough time. Yes, those times you are glad you are a stay-at-home mom. No pressure. But other times, it just gets to me. I'm like, then I remind myself, it's not like someone is forcing me to do it. And then somehow I just get over it. So it's
Okay.
kind of, yes, I'm happy, but there are days that it gets to me.
Yeah. How old are your kids?
The eldest is 2, will be 3 in April, and
Mm-hmm.
then the youngest is about 2 months, 2 months plus. Yes,
Wow. So it must be a handful for you.
it is a handful. It is a handful. It is a handful.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you now cope, being that you're not just a stay-at-home mom, you have two, one infant,
Yeah.
the other a toddler. So how do you cope in the absence of your spouse? Because you mentioned earlier that your husband recently started traveling a whole lot. So are
Mm.
you alone with the kids, or do you have a support system? How do you get to cope with managing this current dynamics for you?
Well, I'm mostly at home. So it's just me and the kids. And then with this addition, it's like I'm trying to find the balance between the two of
Okay.
them. Yes. So some days, it's like I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to survive the moment. So I've just recently discovered that it's actually better to take it one little step at a time and not worry about things that I have not done yet. So for example, I wake up in the morning. I don't have a help now. It's just me and the kids. My husband is not around. So I know that I
Okay.
have to do laundry, I have to clean up the place, and it feels like it's a whole lot, it's too much. Initially, I'll just give myself, eh, like, I'll give myself time. I'm like, in 3 hours, I should be done with everything so I can rest. I know it puts pressure, then now makes you want to shout at the kids or something because you've given yourself time. But then
Yeah.
over time, I've learned that if I don't wash the clothes around 10 a.m., the sky will not fall. It's just dirty clothes. It's nothing more than that.
Mm,
So yes, I've learned to relax and ease into the, will I say, system. So
okay.
whenever yes, so I just take it one chore at a time, if you like. And whenever I reach a point and I feel like I really need help, thankfully I have a very supportive family. That's my husband's
Okay.
family. They're around, yes. So I reach out when I reach where I think, wow, I can't do this, I can't take it, I really need someone to come and watch the kid or something. I reach out. So
Okay.
I've learned to take it one step at a time, one chore at a time. Then I reach out when I feel like I cannot cope. So I think it also helps me to find my way around.
Mm,
Yes. So
okay.
basically that's it. One show at a time. And I consistently tell myself, sometimes, there's pressure. The place looks scattered. What if visitors
Mm,
coming? And I tell myself, it's just an unswept space. Nothing more than that.
mm,
Yes. So I know that I always have to consciously tell myself that it is not a big deal. Heaven will not fall if I don't sweep right now. There are times that
mm,
I as much as wake up in the midnight to wash because that is when it is convenient for me. The children are
mm.
sleeping. I take my time to do everything. So I've just learned that for me to be able to cope well, it's just I take it in bits. And when I feel I can't cope, I I look for help. I ask for help.
Okay. So you've talked about your child support and physical support. So what
Yeah.
about emotional and mental support? How do you get emotional and mental support?
Well, being that from my husband, especially during the day, if I think I have gotten to my limit, sometimes you call him and the number is not reachable. So it now makes it worse for you.
Mm.
So what I do is I have a really good relationship with my mom and my sister.
Okay.
Initially, when I need that emotional support, I can call them or they come over and, just gisting about kids, they are also at this phase too. So just gisting and sharing hacks with each other. It just gives me that emotional, will I say, relief. But being that most of them are not there, I tend to rely on phone calls a lot. So
Okay.
when I'm going through something and I feel like I have to share, I call my mom and I'm like, this is this, or this is what is going on. Sometimes she doesn't even necessarily have a solution. I think she just knows I want to vent. So she
Okay.
listens. Yes, and then she'll listen. And sometimes she'll joke with me. She'll be like, you think they call people mommy for free? This is the payment now.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'll just get a good laugh. And after that, I find that there's relief. Then mostly in the evenings, I call my husband. We've decided that whatever it is, at the end of the day, at the end of his day or when he can, he reaches out. Then we kind of share our day. So
Mm.
yeah, I get emotional support from there too. We talk even so. I know that, and he too knows that when I barely call him during the day because I know he's busy. But
Okay.
once I call, yeah, he knows that it is something I really need to talk about. And then he has to
Mm.
excuse whatever he's doing and at least listen to what I have to say or whatever it is I'm calling him for. So that sort of also gives me the assurance that even though I'm physically alone, emotionally he's there to support.
Okay.
Yes. So really it's mostly by calls, you know, and when I can. Initially, it used to be my friends coming over. They usually come over to my place. We gist, we cook, we eat, and all. But now they are mostly not around, so I resort to phone calls, calls, video calls, and all to talk so that at least there's this feeling that someone is going through whatever you're going through with you.
Yeah, very true.
Yes.
Yeah, I can really relate with what you're saying. Though in my own case, yes, I wasn't a stay-at-home mom, but at least I've
Mm.
had a fair share of having to deal with distant marriage. So I
Yes,
can
yes,
understand that vacuum that it creates and that emotional and mental pressure that it could put on us as women sometimes. So I can relate to what you're saying. So you
yes.
talked about building communication with your husband in his absence. What other ways do you get to connect with him, either when he's away or when he returns back? How do you get to keep the spark of your relationship alive?
Yeah, so initially we are told ourselves that we won't stay more than 2 weeks without going out somewhere,
Okay.
just leave the house, go out, have some fun. But now it is traveling and then the children, sometimes you want to go out and then it's more like an adult space, or you really want
Mm,
to have fun and with the children, you can't have a lot of fun with them around because you have to constantly watch them and all. So to find where
mm,
to drop them off, sometimes you're like, am I not asking for too much? Always dropping them off with my sister-in-law, you know? So it kind of slowed everything down.
okay.
But yes, so now we make conscious effort when he's around. When he's around, like sometimes I even have to stand my ground. I'm like, I'll plan whatever it is I want. Then I tell him that you must be available on Wednesday. And sometimes like, is it by force? I'll say yes, so it's by force. You have to be you have to be available on Wednesday because when I plan, we keep on shifting and shifting and shifting. So sometimes I just
Okay.
plan stuff on my own and I tell him you must be around. You have to be around when he comes, even if it's just an hour, 30 minutes, then thankfully the both of us are night crawlers. So when we put the
Okay.
children to bed, yes, that's when he's around now. Put the
Mm,
children to bed. then we get to catch up, gist, spend time together and all that. That's how it has worked for us.
Okay, wow, that's so lovely. So for you, how do you get to prioritize self-care in the absence of your husband and with the presence of the kids and all?
For that one, I think as I don't know, it's more as what word will I use for it? It's just like grabbing the moment for me for the self-care, because there are several times I've tried to book spa visits, and then that's the time it's not convenient. Either a child is ill or something or something or something. So when I just find the chance, I just sort of have a plan at the back of my mind that I really need to do this for myself. I really need to do this for myself. So when I find the chance, I just take it. Maybe when my sister-in-law comes to visit, I'll be like, I'll leave you with your children, no. And then I go out very quickly. And then to be sure that I just don't leave myself without developing myself. I think also caring for my mental and let's say my educational aspect is also self-care. So I try to learn things online. Maybe
Okay.
something like, yes, these short online courses, I try to do them. Even though not free, I'm like, for this year or this month, I have to like do maybe 2 courses, no matter how simple or little they may seem. It makes me feel like I'm not losing touch with myself and with reality. So I think that's how I take care of myself. When I can, I step out. Sometimes I go out with the kids too. It may be a lot, but when I come back, we are all tired.
Okay, you mentioned that you're into fashion designing. You're a
Yeah.
fashion designer. Yes. And I know you recently you just gave birth. Your baby is 2 months old. So having to deal with taking care of a newborn, taking care of a toddler, your husband not being around, how do you now prioritize financial management? Because definitely at this phase, and you also mentioned you don't have someone helping around with things in the house. So it
Mm.
will slow down things when it comes to you making your own money in quotes.
Yes, yes,
So
actually.
that means, yes, having to depend on one source of income. So how
Mm.
do you now get to manage your finances as a family and budget, having to depend on just one source of income?
Yeah, so the thing is, we have a monthly budget.
Okay.
So yeah, we already know that this is what we need for a month, and this is what we need for a month. And then, I think being open about finances also helps. So I sometimes I tell my husband, I'm not earning. So we have to put my name in the budget. And then he
Yeah.
will laugh. I'm like, yes, you have to put my name in your budget. So when we do the budget, there is a certain amount that is there for me. So I,
Okay.
I try yeah, I try to walk around it. Try to walk around it. And then sometimes I have cost overrun, because with
Okay.
the recent hike of prices and some things you just realize that, oh, I really need this, and you have to get it, and it may not be in your budget. If I feel that it is very pressing, I can take from somewhere just to complement. Then I also
Okay.
know to watch my spending, then I plan ahead. Plan
Okay.
ahead. Yeah, so when I know that I have X and X and X project ahead of me, I just spread it across so that I'll be able to be very comfortable without feeling like I'm depriving myself of something I really need or want, or what the children really need
Mm.
or want. Yes. So we always have a monthly budget. Then there's also allowance for me. Then sometimes when it's enough,
Okay.
we have some for miscellaneous, just in case something like that comes up, we're able to settle it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's lovely. So, how do you role model resilience? Because I know sometimes you mentioned how you feel like shouting at the kids and all that.
Yeah.
So, how do you model that you are resilient and being a source of strength and motivation to your children?
Ah, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially that, with children, the more you spend time with them, the more they think you people are playmates. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So sometimes you are serious and you're like, stop it. And they are laughing. For Zalman, sometimes when you're telling him stop it, his first instinct is not to stop what he's doing. It is to look
Yeah.
at your face, whether you are smiling or whether you are playing. And you can see him looking at you
Mm.
and smiling, like he's waiting for you guys to play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's when I'll just squeeze my face and I'll put on that big voice. Will you stop it? And he'll look at me again. So I'll have to repeat myself. Will you stop it? Then he now realizes that, oh, mommy is serious. He will not stop it. And you have
Mm.
to show that nothing gets to you. You're strong. You say, in
Mm.
fact, I've now become the police parent because I will say no and I'll stick to it. So I think in that aspect, I try to, I don't know, I just mostly wing it
Okay.
because sometimes I feel like, am I strong enough? Will I bounce back? Can I tell them don't do this and I'm standing by it? Especially when it is easier if the dad is around. I'm like, see what your son is doing. He'll come out and show strength and do that and do that and do that. And then again, people equate being a stay-at-home mom with idleness. Like they
Mm.
just believe you're staying at home, you're just idle, you're doing nothing. So you don't have any option. Like you should be strong. Nothing bothers you. You're strong. You have it all. After all, you don't have any other thing to think about. I think that's the general notion people have about being a stay-at-home mom. You just think
Mm.
because you're at home, you don't have any other worry. So because you don't have any other worry, you are a strong woman. You have it all. You have
Yeah.
it all together.
Mm.
You just feel like you should at least know how to get by. But then some days it will surprise you that very little things will break you. So
Mm.
for days like that, when I have to model strength and resilience, when I feel like I'm just on the brink of breaking down, I try to find a space and I'm alone.
Okay.
Yes. Just so that I can put myself together. Because imagine me crying for Zalman.
Mm.
Yeah. It doesn't. So when I know that I've reached that space, just so that they don't see mommy breaking down or mommy, and all that, I know to look for time alone and I know to look for space immediately. So when I start feeling
What
like,
if the
okay,
kids keep following you? Like my
that is what
children,
they do. That
wherever
is
you
what they
go, they want to follow you.
that is what he does. So at times like that, I enter the room. I have it at the back of my mind that Zaman is following me to the room. So
Mm.
I leave the room open. When he enters, I'll lock the room door. I'll enter the bathroom and lock myself in the bathroom. And he will
Okay.
knock and knock and knock as if he'll pull down the door. Like he'll start.
Mm.
Then I'll start saying, Mommy is bathing. I think he seems to understand that now. Mommy is taking her bath.
Wow.
So after a while, he'll just leave the door alone and find something to do. So I can stay 30, 40
Okay.
minutes there, yes, and pull myself together and come out like mommy is strong. But really,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I cope sometimes. Yeah, I'm
Wow,
sure that
wow, wow, wow. That's really insightful. So to draw our conversation to a close, what will you say is your biggest challenge as a stay-at-home mom? Then also, what will you say is your proudest moment as a stay-at-home mom?
my biggest challenge is the fact that motherhood is something you learn on the job.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, there are times that, so there's a situation and you are really, you are at loggerheads. Like, what do I do? How do I go about it? And you know that everything just depends on you. Whatever decision you make depend, like it's I don't know how to put it. It's just you are responsible for these lives. So you are counting on yourself to make the best possible decision, and you're also afraid of the outcome of whatever decision it is you make. So it's a moment where I'm like, wow, I have to make this decision. Am I sure? So the the issue is knowing or feeling convinced that I'm making a wise decision or a good decision, knowing fully well that I am only learning on the job. It's not
Okay.
like the experience from somewhere that, even though you have experience, having your own children and bringing them up I think is different. I think it's
Yeah.
very different. Yes, knowing that whatever decision you make, it's totally going to affect them positively or negatively, and it's all on you. So I think
Mm.
those are moments that, wow, I find very challenging.
So, what of your proudest moments as a stay-at-home mom?
It seems very little, but my proudest moment was when Zama told me, Pee.
Oh my God! When you started talking,
Yeah, he's not very verbal. And then he just says
yeah,
just one word, oh, I have been trying to potty train this boy. And you know how I started kind of early, and my mom was like, where are you running to? It's too early. So after like a month or two, I revisited it. The boy like it's as if the potty had fire on it or something. He literally will not allow his bum bum touch it. So we're having accidents. One day I told my mom, do you know that Zalman peed on his shirt 15 times? And she shouted, she was like, that's
oh
too
my
much.
God.
What do I know? And I told her I was counting. She said that if I had time to count, that means it didn't bother me. I have time to change 15 more times. I'm like, So it was an issue. Sometimes I'll just leave him without any shorts or anything, just his shirt, so
Yeah, I
that
remember. I remember.
yeah,
Yes.
so that if he pees, when there, I just know that I'm not dealing with too much laundry, too much cleaning, and
Mm.
all. And so I have been trying and trying and trying. So one day he just comes to me and he's like, pee. I know I could not believe it. I'm like, what? And
Wow.
he repeatedly pee. I ran, I got the potty, I dropped him, and he actually peed. Wow. See me that day. I bought Rabina. I bought this. I was so happy. My sister was like, it's just pee. What's exciting you? And I said, you won't understand. I've been trying to teach this boy for so long, and he just came and told me pee free of charge. You
Yes.
know,
So
that should be one of my proudest moments. I'm like, okay, I've been able to teach this boy one thing.
yeah. Wow, wow, it's so lovely hearing that story. So, in a nutshell, what would be your advice to women out there who are, are stay-at-home moms or may, for one reason or the other, be considering becoming stay-at-home moms and have to deal with the fact that their spouse may not always be present?
Well, I'll tell them to take it, as I always say, one chore at a time,
Okay,
one step at a time. There's really no need expecting perfection.
okay.
We're all still learning at whatever stage our child or our children are. We're all just learning. So there's no point putting up a perfect front, because really we're all struggling. It's just that the struggles are different. So I'll just say, take it easy on yourself. Don't expect perfection, and then you will definitely make mistakes. You will. But when you make mistakes, it doesn't make you a bad mom. It doesn't make you, it doesn't make you, I don't know the word to use for it. It doesn't make you any less of a good mom. So,
Hmm.
yes, you make mistakes, they are bound to happen. But the only thing, just seek to improve yourself. Thankfully, there are materials to read. there are other mothers to interact with. I think I've learned a thing or two from you. There was one time you were like, so just time him now, just drop him on the potty every hour or every 30 minutes, you know. And then gradually, I think I just picked it up from there. So sometimes you interact with other mothers, they'll tell you some things that worked for them. You
Mm.
read up materials online, you learn a trick or two, it helps. And find time for yourself, really. It's when you are alive that you can take care of these children. Find time for yourself. You reach a point where you think you need help, ask for help. If you reach a time you think, "Ah, I want to sleep," regardless of the state of the house, find time and rest. I think that's it. And then at the end of the day, you'll be fine.
Oh, thank you so much, Jackie. I want you to know I admire you so much. And I love your resilience, in all honesty. I love your resilience and all the labor of love that
Mm.
you do for your family. In due season, you'll begin to reap the reward. And it's been a
Amen.
great, great conversation that we've
Wow.
had here. And to our listeners out there, I hope you've been able to learn a thing or two that can help you on your journey as a
Mm.
stay-at-home mom or an aspiring stay-at-home mom. So
Mm.
thank you so much, Jackie, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I had a nice time too. Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. We've learned that balancing household responsibility and maintaining emotional well-being is no easy feat. But always remember, you are not alone in this struggle. With the right support system and community engagement, you can role model resilience and strength for your children. Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Women Lighthouse podcast. I hope you were inspired to keep taking steps towards living out your dreams. If you enjoyed this episode, we encourage you to share it with other women and leave us a review on our social media platform, which is in the description box. Also, feel free to subscribe to our channel to get notified of new episodes. Till I come your way on our next episode, keep living, keep dreaming. Bye for now.